And there it is, 9:30 on the dot. And I welcome everyone to the Philanthropreneur Foundation's Kick 2022's Ass with Money. So if you saw our flyer, you know what I mean. But we're going to be talking about the Google Ad Grants today and how you can implement Google Ad Grants into your business. If you've heard of them before, you probably thought that they were strictly for nonprofits. And to a degree, that is true. But if you're a business and you build into your business model social impact, we can help you access Google Grants by just sharing your knowledge. You've probably heard the term knowledge is powerful or power, but knowledge is also profitable. And before I get more into that, let's just introduce my co-host that will be here talking about marketing and systems and all those other things that go along with what we're doing. Let's go across the country, all the way over to Miss Kimya Scott, who is the CEO of the Marketing Sparkler.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here talking about this lucrative topic. It has me rather excited, but I'm a digital marketing strategist and social media manager, and I help you put together all of your marketing pieces and tactics into an integrated strategy so that you can ultimately move with precision with your marketing and kind of get rid of those janky marketing systems that you're working on so that you can ultimately grow and scale your business. One of my favorite words. And when I say it, people are like, yeah.
It's janky.
Yeah, it's janky.
Okay, I'm going to throw it over now to the active campaign guy, but he is the systems guy, Mr. Stan Shields.
Hey guys, Stan Shields, Marketing Automation Solutions. And so for me, it's really all about how do we automate your marketing so that you free up more of your time and let the computer systems and the software tools that are out there do more of the work for you with regard to not only marketing, but even just processes within your business that'll help you spend less time doing routine, repetitive tasks and let systems do that stuff for you.
Absolutely. And I never introduced myself.
No, you did not. I was going to.
I am Dr. Victoria Boyd, founder and president of the Philanthropreneur Foundation, and we create programs for the nonprofit sector and the business sector, hence our name, Philanthropreneur. And today we are going to present one of our programs called the Social Impact Program. And we are so excited because we're going to show you how to leverage your knowledge. And I know, just because I pretty much know everybody that's on here, all of you have resources. All of you are a wealth of knowledge, and it's about sharing that knowledge to have social impact, and that means you are helping the community. And so therefore what you're doing is building community using your knowledge, and now let's leverage that so that you can be rewarded for it. All of you have heard of Google. How can we not have heard of Google? It has 91.4% of the market share when people are searching online. And I'll say that again, 91.4% of the share. And so that only leaves about 8% for Bing, Yahoo, all of those others. And so it's undeniable that Google is a huge impact in the digital space. They reward social impact. And so we're going to talk about how you do that, how you leverage your knowledge, and then we'll be opening up for questions. But also, if you have a question while we're doing this, if you know how to raise your hand, it's down in reactions. Okay. Is that Denise? She keeps, okay, Denise, do you have a question right off the bat?
Yeah, so when you said 91%, you mean 91% of search engine traffic?
Yes, 91% of search engines, those that are getting on and they go, because Google has even become a noun now. We'll say, go Google it. But we're not even saying, Bing it or Yahoo it. We say Google it. It has become its own entity. So yes, 91.4%. Huge, huge, huge. So you're probably wondering, well, I don't have that much knowledge. Believe it or not, yes, you do. I in just talking to people across different sectors, different industries, I just asked them a few key questions like, have you ever done a podcast? Do you ever write blogs? Have you ever done any type of informational session with your particular clients? And they always go, well, yeah. Duh, that's your knowledge. That's the resources that you want to share. And what we want you to do is to put it into a format so it goes into what we call an educational hub, where all of your resources are together. And then what we can do, the Philanthropreneur Foundation, we help you create a social impact platform. That is, we create a nonprofit that is that has education as its purpose, and launch it for you with a full website. And once you have that, then we go on and apply to Google and get you approved for the Google grant, which will give you $10,000 every month in free ads. Yes, $10,000 every month in free ads. And most people say, I was challenged on that. Well, no, they give you $500 first free, and then they make you transfer over to a paid account. No, this is $10,000 for perpetuity, as long as you keep your conversion rate at 5% or above. Now, if you don't know digital ad terminology or anything like that, hey, don't worry about it, because we handle everything for you. But what 5% means in conversion rates is that, okay, you've placed a series of ads. They're called ad groups. Targeting different things. You can target as many things as you want. But what Google wants you to have is that at least 5% of all of those impressions that have gone out, they click on the ad. Now, they don't even have to do anything once they get to your site. They just want that person or your audience to click on your ad and go to your site. That's called a conversion, and you only need 5% of those. In digital language, 5% is a lot. I'm just going to let you know that actually is a big number, and it's hard to maintain unless those ads are done correctly. And so that's why I call this the Social Impact Done For You program. Everything is done for you, from the concept of what your nonprofit's purpose will be, to getting and creating the entity, to applying to Google for the ad grant and getting approval. And I'm happy to say I have 100% approval rate. I know, patting myself on the back. I'll give my own accolades. And then once we have approval, we also, and it depends on where you are in the process, we will also build you that nonprofit website, the complete website, have it optimized, and then we will turn it over to an ad manager, and they will handle all of your ads for you. Basically, what you have to provide is your wonderful content, that resources, that knowledge, generally in a blog or in e-papers or e-guides, different things. What it is, I actually help and go through all of your resources and point out which will work best. And then we start working on building some more and developing some more as time goes by. But you could start with a few key pieces that you're driving all of your traffic to create that educational hub. Now, you're probably wondering, so what happens after that? If you're in business, you've probably heard of a landing page. On your hub, on this new website, it will be fashioned you'll have your main page with your mission and your purpose, but you'll be directing them to a landing page, which will say what your resource is, but you'll have an opt-in there. All landing pages have an opt-in tool. That is, the person puts their name and email. You can ask for as much information as you want, but generally if you go past name and email, they're going to sort of back up. They're going to say, I don't know if I want to give you all of that information. But guess what? Once they give you the name and email and you have them in your pipeline, you can then follow up with autoresponders with communication. And that's the system that gets really the automation that Stan talked about, autoresponders and things like that. I said, we build the website, and guess what? That website comes with all of that in it. Okay, so let's first just talk about the whole process of the Google Ad Grant. How many of you are familiar with a Google Ad Grant? Just put your hand up, or have ever heard of one. Okay, there's that. Okay, fantastic. Did you always think that you weren't eligible for them, that they were for that whole nonprofit sector and yep, just, well, I would have to create a nonprofit and I don't know if I want to do that at this time. The key is to have alignment, congruence of interest, and then that whole platform, the social impact built into your business model. Now it can work for you. It can be that arm that really drives, it builds your credibility. Why? Because 87% of consumers will go with an organization that is demonstrating social impact. That they will change brands and go with an organization. So you want to demonstrate. And so once you've done that, you're building your credibility. That means it's then going to increase your followers, increase your traffic, increase your leads, and leads go into finally sales or whatever your ultimate goal is. Okay, taking a little short, not break, but pause here. Does anyone have any questions up to this point? I don't want to get too far down the line and have you forget your question if you have one at this point. Oh, I must be really explaining this stuff good. Okay, so let us show you how this really works. I'm going to open up and share a screen here. Okay, so now this is the biggest question I get. It really is. What are your resources? What can I use on all of your sites? Because I actually know all of you. You have documents, checklists, videos, podcasts, anything that you've used in the past, they are fantastic resources. You can answer your common questions that are in your industry. I know, like Tyson, he talks about probates. You know, he's in the real estate industry. And so he'll tap into probates and flipping houses and things like that. Sally, she's in the health industry. Yeah, see, I know everybody here. and you know, she might want to answer some questions about your personal health. The main thing is you want it to inform and educate your potential clients. And isn't that what your business is there to do? To solve their problem? Your business is meant to solve a problem. So now you're using some of the resources that you would use anyway and really not get much back from them. You'll use them as your educational platform. You will pay it forward, share your knowledge, and now your knowledge will become profitable. How does it work? Social impact traffic. You're going to have a series of ads, and these are text ads, and I won't get into all of that because that's the technical side of the ad groups, but that social impact traffic from your Google ads will be directed to your social impact website. That is the website that we create for you. It will meet all of the requirements, technical specifications that not only Google requires, but also IRS, because you will be obtaining and getting a nonprofit organization. From there, the guests, the visitors, the traffic from those ads will opt in to access your educational content. That's all of those things I talked about before. Whatever it is, could be anything. And then from there, it's going to go into a CRM, customer relationship management tool. And I hope all of you know what those do, because if you have a CRM, it basically handles everything for you, because then you can set up follow-up emails. It goes into different database. You can tag them and send them into different locations. You can do whatever you want at that point. And then from there, it's up to you as a business, because now you have a database, a lead, is to follow up and then create the sale. The biggest thing is that when you're paying for your own ads, aren't you doing the exact same thing? Yeah, you're paying for ads to gather visitors, to opt into something, or to look at your products and services. The only difference is here, you're giving them something away free. In the business terminology and world, it's called a lead magnet. But this lead magnet is now formalized. It's in a structured platform on your nonprofit entity's website, your educational hub. And then what we do for you, I might as well just say everything. We do the development, we do the implementation. Development, like I said, we create that social impact platform that is creating a nonprofit entity. Some people have asked, well, how do I raise funds? You will not be raising funds with this particular type of entity. Its purpose will be education. That's why I keep saying it will be an education hub. We will build the website. We will get you approved for the $10,000 per month free ads, and then we will make sure that that website is technically ready to go. Then we hand it over for implementation to our ad manager. We provide you with an ad manager that implements the ad specifications, and they manage them every month with more ads, more campaigns, whatever it is you want to target, we do it for you. So in reality, escape there, let's stop screen. It's a full platform, but most people get confused. They said, well, it sounds like a scam. And if you have watched my video that's on YouTube, no, these ad grants have been around since 2003. It is a long established program. It's just that most people haven't thought about really pushing to the forefront your social impact arm within your business. And so now we want to make sure that what you're doing also emphasizes the good, the community impact that you're having. And if Google is rewarding businesses and companies that do that, why can't you be one of them? And so, no, it's not a scam. Well, Google, some people have said, well, Google, it's a Google program. Why can't I do it? Well, I'll say, well, I guess you could. But do you know all of the technical aspects? Do you know how to file for a 501c3? Do you know all of the terminology? Philanthropreneur Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and I've been in the nonprofit sector for over 40 years. You didn't hear me say that? Nope. I didn't say that because I'm not that old. But anyway, we have a lot of experience, and we've put together a dynamic team to handle from vision, concept, development, through implementation for the long term. These grants are, as I said at the beginning, perpetuity. As long as you keep that 5% conversion rate, this grant will keep going and going and going. Yes, Denise.
Okay, so you mentioned before 5% conversion rate, and you just mentioned it again. My understanding of conversion rate means turning someone from like a prospect into a customer.
No, that's why I explained it earlier. Google's conversion rate means that your ad that is on their search network page has been clicked. They consider that click as a conversion. They don't have to, that puts them on your site. Once they're there, they don't have to buy anything. They're looking at your Google Analytics score, and does that ad make someone take action?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is the conversion of what Google is scoring, the analytics. They
Okay.
also score your site on how much activity. Hi, kitty cat. I'm sorry, watching the cat. Oh, I'm here to have fun. Okay, yeah. They also are looking at how often you add new things to your site. The best way to do that is through a blog. It's
Content.
the content. Websites are made to be pretty static. You create a page, it gives the information. Blogs are what gives it the energy. The content is constantly changing. So that's why for Google Ads, blogs work really well, because they are picked up by Google in their scoring of your website. Also, on the page where you're sending them to, by having those links to other areas to download things, that's counted as action also. So it doesn't go towards your conversion rate. Just a click is going to your conversion rate. But they look at if the person goes another step forward as success, and give you a higher analytics for that site itself, not for the conversion. Are there any other questions about what this particular social impact Let's Kick 2022's Money Ask program can help you do? I'd like to ask some of you, what type of businesses do you have? And maybe me and my two co-hosts can throw out some ideas for you. I sort of mentioned, but this might be a good time for us to go around and just introduce. Like I said, I know everybody, but I know everybody doesn't know everybody else on here. Looking at my screen, I'm going to start up in my upper left corner, which is Denise. Denise, just give us a real brief introduction of who you are.
So my business is service oriented. I'm a book coach and a ghostwriter. I help people become authors of nonfiction books. Anyway, and one of the things that I hope to know by the time we get to the end of this class is then if I'm giving away a freebie, then is it allowed to then convert them to something that is not a freebie? So anyway.
Yes, because it's, yes. What Google and even the nonprofit sector, you're not selling anything on your site. You're actually converting and using a database. And the simplest way to get around that is when you do the follow-up email to ensure that you have an opt-out, and that's a requirement for all email, that you have an unsubscribe button on there. And as long as you have that unsubscribe that they can opt out, it's fine, because now it's their choice that they're reading what you're sending them. And so that is one of the processes when setting up some of the processes that we do for you. We talk about having that unsubscribe button on there.
Okay,
Any other? I'm going to swing on down. Sally Spurgeon, I haven't seen you in so long. How you doing, Sally? Unmute yourself.
Hi there. I'm sorry, I came in late, so I missed the beginning.
No, you were here right on time. No, you were. Okay.
Okay, so what do? I don't know anymore. I have a small office here in town, which is called Therapy, and really should be called All About Boobs. Sorry, I do have a kitten in here who's, we work with women. It originally started for post-mastectomy, and now it is anything to do with breast health, post-augmentation, really anything about breast health, lactation. We started really with the Caring Place, and working with then lymphedema, and it's just evolved. I'm really not sure what I'm doing anymore. It's out of control. women who've had breast cancer can get lymphedema. People who have augmentation surgeries can have issues, and all of them lead to lymphatic swelling. So now we do manual lymphatic drainage, and just it's all over the place. But what is lacking is education about all this. Women
See?
do not understand about the lymphatic system that keeps the breast healthy, and how to avoid some of these issues that
Perfect.
develop as you get
Perfect topic, because
Sorry,
yes,
that's-
no, that's a perfect topic. And people, women, even some men would search for
Yeah, we have a
that.
lot of, it's interesting, a lot of surgeons send us their patients, and a lot of men with breast cancer are sent to us.
Yeah,
for
so
these.
yes, perfect industry that would do well with the social impact program and the ads that could come with it. Donna Marie Saratella. This is the queen of compliance.
Good morning.
Good
I won't wear my crown this early. It's too early. Anyway, I'm looking to put together something called the Direct Selling Alliance for Ethics that would take what I do for a living and make it an educational arm in direct selling. So I work with companies that have distributor bases, direct selling companies, MLM companies, party plan companies, those types of programs. And I do their compliance for them. And there are hundreds, if not thousands of people just like me that do compliance that work for these companies. And what I want to do is pull them all together and educate them as a unit about direct selling compliance. Very specific, very specific.
And the more specific you are, the stronger the ads are. Kimia can talk to that in a minute. But yes, another great concept or education hub, as you said. As soon as you call it alliance, people will know that that's where I should go to get that information. Absolutely. Okay, so now I'm looking at John Gustomski. Sorry if I totally wrecked your name. Are you there, John?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. What I'm doing is trying to advertise my business more to get people out for data services. So the idea is getting people out and find out what their big issue with this restart. So anything advertise or get advertising out there, get known is the most important thing.
Okay. So, and any educational piece that you have would be a great resource for them that educates them about what you do. Because if you were to ask me right now what you do, I still couldn't tell you. But that's just me.
Me too.
Okay. So that would be great. And here we have Tyson De La Cruz.
Hello, how's everybody doing today?
Fantastic. And I hope
Good.
your ears weren't burning because I was talking about you earlier.
First off, I want to say this is an amazing, good-looking group of people on a Zoom. Probably the beautiful group of Zoom that I've ever been a part of. So I kind of do a mix of things. My main source is real estate. I have a real estate investment firm. We acquire assets and flip houses and have holds on properties. We also run in that runs alignment with that is we do a lot of probate, and through the probate, that's how we actually acquire some of these assets and show individuals like how to run through the proper probate process. And kind of mixing that all in is in some of the houses that we actually house individuals in transition, getting off of opiates or substance abuse. So this is kind of like a mesh of everything. Yeah, and that's kind of the cap of that.
And you actually sparked a great conversation amongst my team here, because we were originally looking at, and I'm giving away some insider secrets here, just real estate agents. But we saw that really it's the brokers or the investors or the agencies that would value the most from what we're doing, because agents don't run a lot of individual ads. It's usually their broker or their agency. Is that correct, Tyson? Is that generally what happens?
Yeah, generally, the agents are honestly, real estate, anybody who's in real estate here or who's done real estate in the past, I think it's a very prehistoric marketing business. They still focus on like nifty nickel or shopping cart ads, but those are old and dusty type of marketing. You know, a lot of agents haven't leaned into providing value or social media, TV ads, things like that. And you're absolutely right. A lot of the brokers focus on their marketing, which essentially brings, marketing to the brokerage, not to the individual agent.
Yeah. So yeah, because we were just exploring what direction would be the most, because I mean, in me talking to you individually, you sparked some ideas and really got us thinking a little bit deeper. And then Tyson does something about, what is your restaurant thing called? Because you did one on tapas. It was your whole YouTube restaurant series.
Yeah. Thank you for that. There's this thing called ghost kitchens.
Kitchens.
Yeah, they're underground kind of restaurants that use other restaurants as kitchens to create businesses out of. And this has kind of exploded since the pandemic. And, it just kind of gives entrepreneurs an opportunity to start a business without the additional overhead costs.
Yeah. You got to visit his YouTube. He has a whole series on different ghost kitchens. And hey, Stan knows I like to talk about food a lot. We won't get into that. Okay, so let me jump over here to Stephen. You want to tell us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Stephen Choate. I'm with Better Life Realty. We do a lot of the things kind of similar to what Tyson does. Right now, we have a rent your own program where if our clients aren't in a particular means of acquiring real estate on their own, we offer a program that will go in, essentially buy the house for them, and they will rent to own that for a term. They're only obligated for a year lease, but they can have the right to purchase that property up to 5 years.
Okay. And both, because your customers need education on how to do that. And so the resources that you could provide, just the information, would be a good platform for this entire program, because you're helping community understand how to become a homeowner, how to go through different processes without actually selling them something at that point. You're educating them first, but that education serves your industry. And so that's really what all of you want to look at, for whether it's for a client that you might have or your own business. Is the education services, the knowledge that you're providing, going to help those customers, prospects, future clients understand your industry better? And that's really the foundation of it. Okay, I'm going to throw it over to Kim, yeah? Because we've been talking strategies here, just, wee bit. Any thoughts and ideas on strategies here?
I think these are some great businesses that's actually my first thought. These are great businesses that would get immense value from the social impact program, because it is all about community. So that's actually my thought. I'm like, oh, these are pretty interesting. That's actually what I'm over here shaking my head about, because it really is coming from an educational standpoint and providing value first. And so, Denise, when you asked the question about, basically, can I sell to these folks? What you provide, and that's the thing. Yes. And what's funny is, like you said, Dr. Boyd, this is the same process you would do whether Google was giving you the ad money or you were doing your own ads. You wouldn't post an ad to try to immediately sell to a complete stranger right off the bat. So this is literally the process that you're doing anyway. You invite them to learn more about you, and part of your marketing automations and your autoresponder sequences educates them further, and then you go in for ask for the sale. And this is literally the same process. So all of these businesses sound like, they could benefit immensely from the program.
Mhm.
And probably one thing I noticed nobody asked about was when you said everybody has knowledge and content. And so, like you said, you look at part of the program is assessing, essentially doing a content audit of the resources that you currently have. And then, as you said, blogging is basically the best way to keep your website fresh and new and exciting. I'm a huge fan of blogging. That's literally the easiest way to keep, Google to continue to search and index your site. But if you don't have the time or interest in repurposing things, if you don't want to blog, Dr. Boyd, what can we do about that?
That is a part of this. I mean, we can add that on, yes, we're going to set you up as the entity with the information, resources, knowledge that you already have. But blogs are fresh. And so, yes, we can add on those services. Now, if you're the type that, you know what, I want this to work in my program, but I don't want to do anything, just do it for me. That's why we call this the Done For You program, or the Done For You formula. Stan, talk a little bit about the back end, that automation part that happens after they've gotten into that CRM, because that's where you're the expert.
I don't want to talk about that part yet.
Okay.
I want to talk about something else first. So here's the thing to keep in mind is businesses really need to build a database. And you want to build a database of people who are interested in what it is that you have to offer. This gives you the perfect opportunity to build a database, and you're building a database that is non-threatening to people. And so she talked about conversion, 5% conversion, meaning a click. People are more likely going to click on free stuff and an information site when they know or feel like there's nothing hidden behind it, right? If I know you're giving me something free, but I think, man, this is really just to get me into their system. And then there's going to be these upsells and downsells and side sells, and all of these additional offers are going to pop in there. People are more reluctant to click on those free offers, but they're pretty easy, and it's pretty easy to get them to click on a freebie that's totally just a freebie. They're just looking for information, right? And there's nothing there that looks and feels like it's selling them something. Yeah. So you're creating a database of people who are already interested in what it is that you, and there, I got to finish one sentence. You're creating a database with people who are already interested in what you have to offer. And you know that most of these people that go into this database are people that you can help them with something. The trick is, as Kimya was talking, of now, how do I then, using Denise's conversion example, how do I now convert them over to a customer? But all of that has to be a process, and the automation can help you with that process by introducing them to tiny pieces at a time to walk them through getting them ready. Denise has got her hand up.
Yeah, Denise.
Yeah. So I have a question about demographics. My ideal clients for the services I offer tend to be fairly upscale, six-figure income people. And then I know that there are people that just, like download all the freebies they can, and I know that my clients tend to not put a lot of time or stock in freebies.
Okay.
So there's sort of like a disconnect there.
This is what the value of keyword planning, geo-targeting. All of these are what I call elements. These are the techie things of ad campaigns, building out ad groups, building out ad campaigns, and putting together your marketing campaign. Stan, did you have something to add to that?
Yeah. So what I want to say with that is, here's, first of all, our six-figure income earners online, do they ever go and use Google?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Of course they do. Everybody does, right? Everybody
91
goes
points.
and they're going to go search for something out there on Google. So this really, Denise, comes back to the messaging in your ad, because the same ad that the six-figure earner, or the same set of information that this six-figure earner is looking for, is not the same as this other person that's clicking on stuff just for freebies, right? So we may be using this terminology
Free.
kind of
Yeah.
across all markets or all spectrums, but it looks very different depending on who it's actually targeting. So this really comes back to be a question about what's the messaging, what's the purpose, what is it that you are trying to attract this person to your site for? That's going to be totally different.
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
single business here, your messaging is going to look totally different.
Yeah, and you
Because you got a
and for
totally
your
different
clients, yeah, you wouldn't say get this free so and so. They would be looking for how to do something, and so your ad would be how to publish a book or how to write a book. I need a ghostwriter. You would target
Mhm.
specifically. That's why the keywords planning is so important. You're absolutely right. They're not looking for free things. They're looking for generally people to do things for them, or services or things like that. So yours might be the 5 key steps to thinking about hiring a ghostwriter. You
I
know,
mean, that's why
how do you
Google is-
interview a ghostwriter? What are you know, all of those things that they would need to know to find out if you're a good one.
So that, yeah, right. So the appeal is not about free, it's about benefits.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep. But you're providing it with no cost. They can
Right,
get that
right.
information on your website. Any other questions or directions or things you need me to tap into? Maybe I need to look at this chat box here.
How many different opportunities can you present? I mean, is it like one website per, or one landing page per
No,
topic?
you can have a individual landing page for every single topic. In fact, the premise or the rule for a landing page is one topic, is to only have one topic on each landing page. For example, you're going to be sending them to a site. Mine is the philanthropreneurfoundation.org. But then each page / is a different page or landing site. You're going to have the ability to have unlimited landing pages, because the platform I use allows for unlimited landing pages, unlimited contact list, and the whole email system is built into it. So yes, go ahead.
I think that maybe this is a bigger question, really more around niche, right? What's the niche and what's the focus, right? So I don't want to have a site or go through getting the Google approval and everything for a real estate business, and then try and run a health and wellness business on the same site, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's got to be connected so that it absolutely makes sense that that's what this information is for. This. So as long as all of that is related, then you're not limited by landing pages or sites or any of that kind of stuff. That's kind of a non-issue, right?
Okay.
With it. It's just making sure that we're not trying to mix one niche with another that make no sense.
And you can create as many ad groups that you want. Each ad group usually has 3 different ads within each ad group. And so if I'm trying to target how to start a nonprofit, how to start a 501c3, I want to start a 501c, I want to, all of those, I could have 3 different ads with those as the focus, and all those 3 ads could send them to the same landing page, but you approach it differently. you might be, because you're in real estate and you do help with lease to own type platform, you might just talk about, have you ever thought of the lease to loan format for getting housing? And then another landing page might be, how do I get a mortgage? It's still related, but it's a different topic. I see your hand up. I hope, well, I'm sorry, Stephen, I hope that answered your question. I see your hand up, Tyson.
Thank you. When it comes to the .org site, so I think you kind of answered the question. You can have as many landing pages on that .org site as needed. I know we briefly talked about it like last week. So the .org site is required for the actual grant, yet can it be forwarded to a .com site or another, like a masked URL?
Okay, so the ads have to go to the .org. Now,
Okay.
what you have on that landing page, my recommendation is to first get them into your database, have that opt-in, let them see the information, let them gather, get what they came there for. And if you read any guidelines for landing pages, they really recommend don't have any external links on it, because you want to keep your audience, your visitor, focused on that one thing. Stan mentioned follow-up communication. That's when you start talking about that other stuff, the other sites. The Google ads really want to direct it to the educational hub, to the information, to the resources. In your blog, though, see, that's a different format. It's a different tool. In your blog, that's where you can have all these backlinks, all of these connectors, all of this information. As long as what the blog content, the narrative, whatever it's talking about, still aligns with what you're doing. But that's, have you, I'm trying, the 3 steps, or or just say, what is probate? And you might answer that question, what is probate? And then at the end of that blog, you might say, want to learn more about probate? And that's where the link goes. So you're still not selling anything there. You're asking them, do you want more information? And you send them now to where they get that product, service, or whatever it is. Did that answer your question? Thank you. Thank you. I have watched, okay, I have had a Google grant since, I hate to admit it, 2014. I think I'm Superwoman, and I thought I could run it myself. I admit I failed. I was not able to get an ad approved. And like most individuals, I gave up, because that's not my expertise. That's not my experience. And I just didn't have time or felt like doing it. And that's what most business individuals, owners, you're in the same position. Is it really worth your time to learn how to run a Google ad? Nope. Especially if there's experts that we've put together for you, and with the Philanthropreneur Foundation and the support of our marketing sparkler and Active Campaign guy over here, the package is all the way already put together, and we can guide you through the process, or just take it over and do the whole thing for you. So as we're getting down to our last few minutes, I didn't want to really make this go over too far over 45 minutes. So we've sort of reached that point. I'd really like to answer any specific questions. That's wonderful. If you want to know what the whole program is about, you can see 2 websites right above next to me. Where am I? Here I am. The top one, philanthropreneurfoundation.org/ads. It really is in the real estate broker agency genre. It sort of addresses what they want. The 10K free money is for any business type. This whole program actually is for any business type because I have been able to look at resources, assess websites, and just that is my experience. That is my expertise of finding the purpose within your business. What purpose can drive into your profits, and I can help you create a social impact program. So it's just a matter of when you want us to get started. That's the bottom line. It's you don't really have to think about anything. As I even posted something on Facebook the other day. I'm a consultant and service provider. I'm not a coach. I come in and do it for you. So you don't have to think about it. And that's where I think my services have the most value. Kimya or Stan, you got any last comments or any last questions from the group?
No, none for me. This was super informative. I hope it was informative for me. Every time you explain it, I hear something different. I learn a little bit more. But no additional questions or comments for me. Just I would advise everyone to definitely check out the websites and figure out how you can provide social impact with what you're doing now. Look at, and I would think the next step is, outside of booking a call with Dr. Boyd, consider the knowledge that you already have prepared. Think about the content you already have that's ready to go, that can be immediately placed onto a website that delivers social impact. So look at the resources and knowledge that you've curated over your years of working in business.
Mm-hmm. Stan, any comments?
No, Kim, you said that really well.
Gee, such a cohesive team here. Any last questions? I mean, always. You can always reach out to me. I guess I didn't put my email on there, but real easy to remember. I'll give you the real easy one, drvictoriaboyd@gmail.com. No dots, no dashes. Dr. Victoria Boyd @gmail.com. Or just go to 10kfreemoney.com and you will see a ask a question box on there. It will all have that both of those sites have all of the details, and the first step on both of those sites is to schedule a chat with me so I can really talk about what some of your resources is and that you can use and what would be next steps.